International Women's Day was originally called International Working Women's Day. And in different regions, the focus of celebrations range from a general celebration of respect and appreciation towards women to a celebration for women's economic, political, social achievements.
Good morning, everybody. For people that don't know me, my name's Kimberly Mallon. I'm the current president of Women Insured Burdekin. Just a little bit of history on Women Insured. In the late 1990s, I came here in 1995 to work for the SES, and I'd often go out to shed meetings, and I was the standalone female. And I'd often ask, do the women come along, and I'd be met with, it's not their place. So as I was going out doing my trial work, I'd often talk to growers' wives, and they'd have questions for me on different aspects of the industry, and I'd say, well, come along to a shed meeting, and they'd either have family commitments or they just felt really uncomfortable, they just couldn't do it. So I researched around and spent some time down in Mackay with Women Insured Group they had down there, and used their group as a model and brought it up to the Burdekin. Recent activities our group does, it's an information group. So if somebody comes to us and says, oh, I'd really like to know something about workplace health and safety because they've got stuff on their farm they need to know about, we get a representative to come in and have a chat to us.
One of the things that I do a lot of work in is suicide prevention in our farming communities, and there's a lot of emphasis on the high rate of suicide of male farmers throughout Australia, which undoubtedly is an unacceptable level. It's very high, it's twice the rate of that of people in urban areas. But, and this is the figure, and this is what goes unnoticed and it concerns me, is that while there's that very high rate of suicide amongst men, the rate of attempted suicide amongst women in rural communities is twice that of men. And that goes unnoticed and unheard. I think that's the biggest message I can give anyone out there. Just stop, breathe, look at yourself, reflect, where am I? What can I change? What can I do differently? Negativity breeds negativity, and it can be a really nasty spiral downwards. So you might want to start surrounding yourself with some positive people. Love yourself, give yourself affection, and if you need to take a time out, go get a massage. Self-care is really important.
What the Port of Townsville's been doing. Mostly, you'd be fairly familiar with what we do. We've got Townsville and Lucinda Port. The Port of Townsville last year celebrated 150 years of operation. And a lot of what our focus has been on is about increasing the connectivity of the business to our international markets. We know we're an island and we're a very small part of a global trading world. So our interest, and we are very well connected, we trade with 240 different ports in 42 countries around the world. That's our connections, but what we're looking to do is try and increase the frequency of shipping connections so that we give importers and exporters a lot more opportunity out there in the market where we're competing with other destinations. We're strategically connected to all of the resource-rich areas. Of course, people are fairly familiar with the Northwest Minerals Province. It's one of the largest minerals provinces in the world. We've got 9 berths at the moment. We are just about to demolish one of our oldest berths. It's a little over 100 years old, so soon will be 8. And we've reclaimed about 300 hectares of land for the port operations over the last 150 years. The agriculture sector is hugely important to us, as you well know. The largest sugar export port in the country, but also high analysis fertiliser from Phosphate Hill. With Incitec Pivot, we import the fertiliser through Townsville, of course, for distribution to our regional areas. The agriculture hub, while it's 23% of our trade value at the moment, we think that the growth in that area is significant if we can get all pieces of the supply chain together with all of our regional areas, and I think the biggest challenge coming from opportunities like free trade agreements is really how our region is going to cope with keeping up with the supply that the international market is looking for.